Hi, it's Tash from Foxes and Brown Bears Tarot, and I'm wishing you all happy holidays. I hope you all found some joy over the holiday season despite any challenges thrown at you. I know it's been particularly difficult with lockdowns and not being able to see people you'd like to see, so hoping it was the best it could possibly have been. Alright, so today I'm bringing to you a spread that I created to use as a reflection on the previous year. And this is based on Joseph Campbell's concept of the hero's journey. So Joseph Campbell was a professor of literature. He studied comparative mythology, and he's best known for his book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, which was published in 1949. In this book, he presents the theory that all myths around the world involve heroes and include key archetypal elements. So in other words, every myth, no matter where it's from or when it was written, is effectively the same story. And so this hero's journey that he explores originally was composed of 17 steps, according to Joseph Campbell. And this has been adapted over time, but ultimately it can be divided into three distinct stages. So the first stage is departure, where the hero begins the adventure. The second stage is initiation, where the hero faces particular tasks and trials. And then the return is the third stage, which is a return to the ordinary world, with the hero bringing back the treasure or wisdom that he or she has acquired during the journey and which has transformed the hero. And so I thought this was an excellent concept to base a spread on, because what I've done is I've adapted his original 17 steps and elements to a 10 card spread. So these are 10 steps in a hero's journey, and I thought this was excellent to represent an individual's journey through a year, because after all, every year is an adventure for an individual. And so I thought this would be pretty cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will describe each of the steps below, but I'm just going to go through a quick kind of little mock reading to show you how the spread works. Okay, so this is called the Hero's Journey Spread, a yearly reflection, and I'm going to use the Lightseer's Tarot to do this one. Okay, so just going to spread general, just going to do a very general spread. I'm not even going to shuffle or anything. All right, so the first card is the Call to Adventure. Now, this is what you needed to achieve or change this year. So it's what you started the year with. Okay, so what did you want to achieve? Where did you want to stay in the same place? Did you want to change something? So it'll give you an idea of how it all began. Okay, so I've pulled the King of Pentacles, which suggests to me there that I wanted to achieve more success. I wanted to achieve stability of some kind. Okay, so that's what I started off with. That's my call to adventure. The second card is the Refusal of the Call. And what this basically means is what's holding you back from your adventure. What is holding you back from achieving what you'd like to achieve? Okay, so that's quite an interesting one, because this suggests here that what is really holding me back at the beginning of the year is the thought that maybe all this success and stability and all that is actually going to be quite a burden, is going to be quite difficult to achieve. It's going to require quite a lot of work. All right, so card number 3 is Meeting the Mentor. And this is effectively looking at what is your motivation? What is your courage? Because in the hero's journey, the mentor is the person who comes into the hero's life and eggs them on. So for example, like the Lord of the Rings, you've got Gandalf assisting. You've got, so it's often a wizard, a magician, some wise person, someone who helps the hero along the journey and triggers it. Okay, so in this case, it's what motivates you, whether it be external or internal, to face your challenges and to begin your journey. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing that as the need for action, the need for change, the need to do something, the need to get out there and change things up. And I think that's kind of cool. This is actually totally random, and it's actually turning out a very, very accurate reading for me. All right, card number 4 is crossing the threshold. And this one is basically, it's moving from your safety zone into the adventure. And so this is, what risks did you take over the year? Okay, so did you try new things? Did you attempt something that scared you? And so, yeah, okay. So I think here, I guess the risks, the trying new things is basically trying to look for the joy in difficult situations, or in situations where you're kind of bored and you are not really seeing how they could be very positive, but it's just noting that there is more to it. There is something underlying that particular situation that can bring you benefit. And so I think that was my risk. It was looking for the good in each situation. Okay, card number 5 is trials and failures. And this is basically all the tests you've confronted. Okay, so what are the difficult things you've had to do? What are some of the failures you've experienced? All right, so here I've got the 7 of Wands. So I think here, this is classic for a COVID year. It was also a year for me where I was starting a new course, having heaps of work placements in quite challenging situations. And I feel that this is perfect because it was actually having to manage all the challenges that came my way, having to hold my ground, having to know and be confident that I could hold back any threat, and just kind of finding that strength within. So I guess not failures. I think I probably was stabbed by some of those spears, but ultimately, yeah, it was quite interesting. All right, card number 6 is allies. So this is who has helped you over the year, been on your side, people you've relied on. Okay, so I think this is very much a person card here. Okay, so here I've got the 10 of Cups. So that's a very good card there because you're looking at, it's clearly your friends and family. And I think particularly some of my friends in my course have been so beneficial to me and so helpful. And I don't think I could have gone through the year really without them. So yeah, definite allies. Card number 7 is enemies. And this is who has hindered you over the year. And of course, this could also be yourself. Sometimes we hinder ourselves. Okay, so that's an interesting card there. So, tough one. You don't normally see the star as something that's hindering you. But I see this as myself. I feel like in some level it's myself because it's wishing things were different. And that aspect of myself has definitely hindered my journey over the year. I think also we can read that more globally, as in the stars maybe weren't great this year. So the odds were kind of stacked up against us all, really. And so there were quite a lot of fairly large challenges. And I think the fact that this is a major arcana card suggests that these challenges were global and karmic and really big things to deal with. Okay, so card number 8 is the ordeal. And in this case, I've interpreted this as, what was your biggest challenge for the year. And I have the Hierophant. Yeah, so that makes sense for me anyway, because starting a new career, I've had to stop and start at the bottom. So the staircase to me is the idea that you're having to start at the bottom, feel completely incompetent, and yet try and find the joy within that. So that was my greatest ordeal in a lot of ways. It's my biggest challenge, having to be in a place of having to deal with something very new, something that you're learning. And once again, I think major arcana, so that might point as well to the global factors that are at play there as well. And the idea of having to find joy in difficult circumstances. All right, card number 9 is the Road Back. And in this case, it's where the hero starts their return home. And here I've used this particular step to explore the skills, knowledge, or personal characteristics that assisted you in navigating your hero's journey. And so in this case, I've got, can I even fit this all on? I'm sure I can somehow. And I've got the 9 of Swords there. And so I think that kind of makes sense. It's that concept that sometimes I think to me, I mean, this is a tough one because 9 of Swords is really hard in terms of like a positive card. But I think that it was the skill to manage anxiety, the skill to manage the difficult emotions that I confronted this year. And yeah, and so the knowledge I brought to bear on that. And so I think that was a definite achievement in that sense. Okay, and then the final card is the Reward. And this is where the hero returns with that treasure or wisdom. And so to me, this is the card that gets you to explore what you have learned and gained on your yearly journey. And 8 of Swords. I think particularly the Lightseer's card here makes sense to me. It's the idea that I have learnt to recognize fear and anxiety as an illusion. Okay, it is in my mind and I can control it. And that to me has been my most amazing lesson of the year. Okay, so that's pretty much my hero's journey spread. Hope this is helpful to everyone. I know that this is a time of year when everyone starts doing reflection spreads and year to come spreads. So I'm hoping this will be helpful. And I look forward to do another video soon. I've got a few ideas and I've got a little bit more time now once all the holiday mayhem and my packing is going along because I am moving in the new year. And so yes, once again, hope you're all safe. Hope you all found joy in the holiday season, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.